Hey guys, Lord Naren White here, the Holy Ghost, the one true God, back with you with the next video in my Line of God's Daily Diary series. As usual, before I discuss what I have achieved since yesterday's Daily Diary video, I want to go ahead and read you a chapter from the Bible. Today I will be starting off Ecclesiastes, or The Preacher, chapter 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What profit hath a man of all his labor, which he taketh under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down, and hasteth to his place where he arose. The wind goeth toward the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the rivers come, thither they return again. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, See, this is new? It hath been already of old time which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem, and I gave my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven, this sore travail that hath God given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. I communed with mine own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. And I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit. For in much wisdom is grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Alright, so the first thing that I want to discuss is, when I was looking up Ecclesiastes before reading this, Ecclesiastes is typically attributed to either Solomon, because of course it does say, I, the preacher, was king over Israel and Jerusalem, so it's typically attributed to either Solomon. It also says the words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem, or a variety of authors. So either Solomon directly or many authors. And what I'm doing is I'm looking up one of the verses that I want to share. I think that the verse that I was looking at, it's interesting. So Solomon says here, for the sake of discussing Ecclesiastes, I don't necessarily know if Solomon directly wrote these chapters, or if it was other authors who wrote about Solomon's perspective or wrote the chapter directly. When I'm discussing this chapter, I'll discuss Solomon as the narrator of the chapter. So here, what we're seeing is, we start with here in Ecclesiastes 1:3. What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? And so that is the idea there. And yeah, that is the idea. And so what we want to say here is, what advantage? So the idea that he talks about is like, what advantage does a man get? What does he get for a lifetime of toiling away under the sun? Okay, then the following verse says, "One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever." Okay, so I want to contrast that with the purpose of narangelicism. So Solomon here says that, sort of rhetorically asking, because he's going to eventually, of course, discuss that the idea is, of course, service to God, how important God is, how beautiful God is. Everything is about the glorification of God. So I'm not disagreeing that that's ultimately the point that Solomon will come to over his time, for example, in Proverbs, for example, and now starting Ecclesiastes. Rather, I want to contrast that passage of what does a man get from toiling under the sun every day with the purpose of narangelicism, which is to do the right thing at the right time, which is to work with sincerity and focus. That is the purpose of narangelicism. And I look at it and I say to myself, the purpose of what I'm doing here, why I'm waiting to have a family until, could be as long as, I write, sometime between 2053 and 2100. That's when I'll start a family. So that's 30 years from the release of this video, the recording and release of this video. That's 30 years away. And so that's 30 to, maybe, more, maybe 76, 77 years away. And so I write, why am I writing that? Is because of the fact that the work that I do now will lay the foundations for giving my children an easier start to their life, a leg up in life, so to speak, such that they have a better hand in life from a socioeconomic perspective, as well as other perspectives, than I did when I was coming up in my not only my formative years, but now also since my coming awake as the Spirit of God to my destiny. And so that idea of the work goes hand in hand with what Solomon says. Ultimately, all the work is to glorify God. The importance of the work is not to contrast with the idea that generations come and go. Yeah, that's true. However, even, I'm not criticizing or disagreeing with what Solomon is saying. Rather, I'm drawing an emphasis to the idea that even when, yesterday I mentioned Frederick Barbarossa going on crusade and dying before the crusade could really begin. Even if the results aren't always what you want, you still have to do the work. You still have to face the challenges of life, face the work, face whatever difficulties are in your life, because there's no way but through the challenge. And that's why I say how important it is to always understand that work is a good thing, and the opportunity to work is so important. And I always talk about how good it is to work, because believe you me when I say it's better to have work than no work. You've heard idle mind is the devil's workshop. Another one, indolence breeds madness. So yeah, it's very important. Now, the other verse that I want to read from Ecclesiastes is, we'll discuss this, Ecclesiastes 1:18. "For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow." Think this of actually Adam and Eve. There are a lot of examples of this that one could attribute this in their own life. Innocence lost, so to speak, right? In many ways, innocence lost. And the idea being that when Adam and Eve eat from the tree of good knowledge, they understand, but however, God cast them from the garden because of the fact that even knowing right from wrong, both of them eat from the tree. They're commanded not to eat from the tree, and they eat from the tree. Then their first son becomes a murderer. So even knowing right from wrong, it's not that they're yet capable of eating from the tree of life in a way that will benefit them. And so God cast them from the garden. And as a result of it, mankind is, God tells Eve, he says to her, that in your sorrow you will conceive and bring forth children. So that idea of they gain knowledge and wisdom, but they also gain sorrow and death. And, that's, and how powerful that beginning of Genesis is. And so with that now, I'll transition over to what I have achieved since yesterday's daily dive video. Since yesterday's daily dive video, I worked at my core. I uploaded and scheduled 5 workout videos. I uploaded and scheduled many video game videos. And I've created this daily diary for 10/8/23. And with no further achievements since yesterday's daily dive video, I want to go ahead and say thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as it greatly helps the channel. Light be with you all. Take care, and thanks again.